I have a 99 Toyota 4Runner Limited with power seats. Picked me up a 2008 Volvo S80 seat at a junkyard, cheap, 80 bucks. Was in really great shape. Couldn't pass it up. The Volvo seat has power, memory, and heat. Didn't have time today to wire in the heat because I'm going to have to make a custom harness with some relays and a thicker power wire from the 4Runner because the stock power seat harness doesn't carry enough amperage to power the heat. Used the stock seat belts. Had to modify the bracket, check the pictures, but it's got 2 wires coming out of it, plugs right into the Volvo harness, so the buckle knows when you're buckled in and when you're not buckled in, just like stock. Move the stock 4Runner mounting point. It's usually back here on the floor, but Volvo has a mounting point on the seat. You just have to flatten this 4Runner bracket out that's attached to the seat belt. Flatten it out with a vise or a hammer or however you're going to flatten it to get it to mount right up to that Volvo mounting point. Use the stock feet on from the Toyota 4Runner. Had to cut them off my tracks. The track front to back on this Volvo seat is a lot longer. You have to cut the feet off of that. But if you hit these Toyota feet in the middle of that track and hit these measurements from here to here, it bolts right up. You even get to use the stock plastic to cover your feet. Got the wire harnesses under the seat. This big kahuna right here is the Volvo 20 wire harness. That little kahuna is the 3-wire stock Toyota harness. Use magical splices. Check the pictures for the wire descriptions on where what wires you need to hit from the Volvo to the stock Toyota 4Runner harness. The seat raises you up over stock position, maybe an inch, inch and a half. It's a little higher, so if you're a tall guy, I'd say over 6'2", it might not work. I'm 6 foot, brings me pretty close to the ceiling. I've also had to trim the wheel up with the tilt a little bit to get in there comfortably. But it's a great seat, very comfortable. I feel it's worth it. I also have a sunroof, so the ceiling is a lot lower, but it's a great seat. I recommend it. Follow the tutorial or modify it, whatever you want to do, but it can be done. That's how it's done. Thanks. One thing I just learned about this Volvo seat mod, I like to have my knees up in the dash. I like to have it close to the steering wheel. It's all preference. If that's your preference, the door pocket hits that power seat module trim. You have to slam the door to get it to close. Not sure if I like that. Puts a lot of pressure on the door. However, if you hit a far back enough setting, that little curve right there in the door pocket fits right over that trim. Door closes naturally, but then I'm a little further away from the pedals than I like to be. We'll try it out for a little bit, see what works.